Well, happening this week, the Ageless Awards are being given out in Portland on Wednesday.
The recognition honoring contributions of Oregonians 75 or older who demonstrate the importance of living a purposeful life. Joining us this morning with a preview of the 2024 Ageless Awards, including this year's nominees, we have Dr. Karen Brown-Wilson, founder and board chair of Age Plus, and President and CEO Stephanie Hooper. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So let's first talk about the Ageless Awards in general. Why is it so important and such a unique honor for Oregonians?
I would say it's because most people don't understand that older people contribute a lot to their communities and continue to contribute well past the age that people normally, quote unquote, retire.
That makes sense. This is really a pretty unique honor. Who are this year's honorees? Who are we highlighting this year?
Well, this year we have 4 honorees, plus our own Karen Brown-Wilson. We have Peggy Konzak in Roseburg, Roger Toft, the inventor of the Enchanted Forest.
Oh my gosh.
And we have Kay Turan from Portland and Julie Vigeland from Portland.
Awesome. Well, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Peggy is 102.
No way.
Oh my gosh.
And teaches swimming to babies.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh, that's incredible.
That is so wonderful. So what makes someone a good candidate for an Ageless Award?
It really varies, and it is so hard to pick the honorees every year. We are getting more and more nominations every year, and it really just becomes a mix of who rises at that particular time.
Yeah.
We take into a lot of considerations of representation from across the state. We actually keep all the nominations from all the years. We also take into consideration people's health and how long that we've been in community with them, and the different themes that just seem to bubble that year.
What does this mean to you to be a part of this? To highlight these people that deserve this recognition?
Well, as someone who's older herself, it makes me feel good that we are able to demonstrate how vital older people are to our communities and how much they contribute. Because candidly, it's really hard for people to recognize that people don't just sort of go in a room and close the door once they turn 65.
Right.
We heard of Lifetime Achievement Awards, but those are mostly given to people 50, 60, 65. You don't hear of many people being honored when they're 102.
Right.
Well, and to your point, Dr. Brown-Wilson, it's just interesting to see that some of these years can be the most purpose-filled years of your life, right? As folks are living longer, you have this chapter where you really get to dig into the impact that you want to have in your community. I
think that's really true. A lot of people, they work their whole lives and then they turn to their passion.
Yeah.
And that passion can be anything. It can be arts, it can be mentoring, it can be sculpting, it can be opening new businesses. In fact, people 65 and older are the most common to open new businesses in the state of Oregon.
Really?
Most successful entrepreneurs.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Well, it's an interesting dynamic now, too, to get into what I think is an interesting statistic anyway, is that we are less than 7 years from having people 75 and older, and that demographic, that population being just as much as people who are 19 years and younger. Why is that important to talk about?
Because we're not ready. Because we already have a workforce crisis. We don't have enough workers to fill the jobs that are available. We have enrollment issues at all ages of schools. And so our society is not ready for something that's going to be a permanent shift in the age structure. So we need to be thinking about that. We do need to plan for it, so it's not the kind of crisis that we're confronting today with so many issues.
Right.
So the Ageless Awards gives us this opportunity to talk about our ageist stereotypes, to defy them, right? To elevate the need for a multi-sector plan for aging that we've got to start now, to really adjust our systems so that we don't end up in a crisis, so that we move into this new reality in a very methodical, strategic, and inclusive way, that we're really recognizing older adults as assets in our communities and not as at a deficit base or a
Problem.
problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, I can't even say it that
No,
way.
you're right. But I mean, it does make. I get the point that you're trying to make.
It seems
with
so
that.
foreign
Yeah.
to think of it that
Right.
way when you're surrounded by older Oregonians who are just making every chapter count, you know, more than the last. It's just incredible.
It really is.
Well, thank you both for being here this morning and have fun this week celebrating some
Thank you.
wonderful lives lived with full of accomplishments. I just think it's incredible.
The inspiration from this event carries us through the whole year, and people that
Absolutely.
attend tell us that. It's just one of the best events they attend all year.
That's great. Well, again,
And
thank you both.
we will have fun.
Yes, dang straight you will. That's what it's all about. The 2024 Ageless Awards happening this Wednesday. That's April 17th from 11:30 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. In-person tickets are sold out, but you can still register to live stream the event right now by going to ageplus.org.
Yeah, if you or someone you know is looking at retirement and wondering